What is up, YouTube? It's Kingfisher745, and welcome to episode 52 of All Hail the King. 52, that seems like a significant number. I suppose if you watched one a week, that would be a full year. Wow, Tempest Fugit. Time sure flies. As always, make sure to check out the From the Helicarrier podcast at www.thehelicarrier.com. There you'll find all the corresponding podcasts and much, much more. Now for this episode, we have something truly special. We begin with Tony Stark saying he's tinkering with a sad little claw. Now it seems like an early prophecy, because little did he know, his incredible creation would once again turn back into a sad little claw. This claw that we're referring to is the Vigilante Toolkit. It was a multi-function weapon that we created coinciding with the covert ops of Moon Knight, and it was glorious. This weapon, besides being multi-function, had 3 passives: a chance to counter single target and area attacks, a protect, and evasive, which gave your agent a high chance to avoid attacks. After we researched it, it became very popular, as you can imagine. It was fantastic in PvE and PvP. Here we are using it on the old group boss Curse. So take this wrist slinger. The wrist slinger of course simulated Spider-Man, the holographic shield simulated Captain America, and the retractable claw was like Wolverine. Just like it sounds, this weapon was so cool and so unique. It provided a lot, and that's why it was worth an equipment slot. It's really not a big mystery why we ended up falling in love with this weapon. It was just like a breath of fresh air. Just the mere thought of it brings on a happy song. We had joy, we had fun, we had seasons in the sun. And apparently the rest of that song is super sad, so we won't focus on that. I don't even know where I heard it, maybe the Brady Bunch or something. Probably an old rerun. But I for some reason thought it was a happy song. Anyways, it was a free weapon, you just had to complete the task. And yet it was right up there with anything that money could buy. That's something that's somewhat difficult to come by in this game. Oftentimes, these items come face to face with the Nerf bat. So what's become of this once mighty item? Well, all of the passives are gone. Every single one. Stripped of it. Naked and afraid. In the arms of an angel, fly away from here. In the arms of an angel, fly away from here. That's the only lyrics I know. But it's dead. They killed the toolkit. Or at the very least, it's like a puppy who lost his master. And now he has to wander the streets, sad and alone. It's been completely abandoned. There is literally no one using it. And that's because it was over-nerfed. In fact, you now have to gain each of those benefits by using that particular multi-function part. And even worse, they only last for 2 rounds. So what am I proposing should be done about this? Well, I for one am joining the revolution, #unnerfthetoolkit. The revolution will be televised on YouTube. And I'm inviting all of you to join it. Let's restore this proud weapon to its former glorious self, or at least give it something back, because maybe it was too powerful. But hey, it deserves at least 1 or 2 passives, doesn't it? Let's just watch what happens when we take it into a fight against Null and Kurth. First of all, the enemies had the Mystic Shroud, so we'll just use the Blackest Void, and that'll be the end of our turn. Thanks a lot, Toolkit. Because this would have been a quick action with the safeguard suit, but I used the empowered tactician costume because I need to gain an extra turn next round to potentially use the toolkit twice. Then after Tony Stark uses his repulsor ray, the enemy agent's going to use the Blackest Void. Next up, Null uses You're Not Worthy and a World Breaker. So that was really unfortunate. Let me just say he wouldn't have done that if he was exhausted. Now finally, with our Hulk, we first have to try to stagger the enemy agent. And like normal, that one misses. It's almost like we have to stagger him before we stagger him. If you catch my drift. So since we didn't hit him with that and he has the watchful eye, we now just have to go ahead and recharge. Next up, the enemy Kurth is going to attack with a Stonebreaker, and while this doesn't flat out kill Hulk, it's going to cause his rune to explode. So now look what happens. All because the Vigilante Toolkit was nerfed. Hulk's death is now on your hands. He got obliterated. And shouldn't my agent have had protection built into the toolkit? I think so. So now with my agent, we'll use the Fire Tornado and finally exhaust the opponents. Then after that, we're going to use Momentary Advantage and we'll give ourselves a protection effect with the Holographic Shield. However, I do fear that it may be too little too late. Still, let's go ahead and attack the enemy agent with that shield. Now for our next attack, we're going to give ourselves a 50% chance to counter. That's right, just a coin flip. And we get that by using the Retractable Claw. These buffs last for 2 rounds, and of course they're independent of each other. So if you did use your shield effect on the first round, you would be without the Retractable Claw counter, and vice versa. Why that's the case, I'm really not sure because there are protect and counter weapons out there already. But there's not to make reply. There's not the reason why. There's but to do and die. Into the Valley of Death rode the 600. By the way, I had to memorize the Charge of the Light Brigade in 8th grade. Of course written by Alfred Lord Tennyson. Oh, and while we were reminiscing, our agent is dead. Once again, thank you Toolkit. Okay everyone, I really think we might lose this one. There is a slight chance. So it's time to bring in the Hulkbuster. And we're going to fire his Rocket Barrage. If he's going out with a fight. And also some kind of weird visual glitch. But take that, the enemy agent's down, now only 2 more to go. And we are letting them have it. Strain takes down tons of stamina. And, well, it looks like Kurth is going to finish it. There it is, we do indeed lose an offensive battle. Why? Because clearly the Vigilante Toolkit needs unnerved. But you know what? We're not going out like that. We're going to get serious both in this battle and in our plea for the toolkit. In all seriousness, it should at least get 1 or 2 passives. Maybe a protect and counter, or a protect and evade. And I think it would be amazing if enough of us pulled together, used the hashtag unnerfthetoolkit, and actually helped bring a change to this game. I know the developers can't always bend to what the players want, but in this case, this very awesome and unique weapon was over-nerfed. Now there's no way that any agent's going to put it on their equipment bar. We only get 4 slots, so at least help make it worthwhile once again. It doesn't have to be the most overpowered weapon, or even reverted to its original form. Just give it something in the way of passives. Also, maybe for anyone who missed it, bring back a way to earn it. A relaunch could be part of its retooling. At least that's just an idea. I know not everyone's going to agree with me, but for those of you who do, please let me know in the comment section below. And if you do have a Twitter account, like I said, use that hashtag unnerfthetoolkit. As for this battle, it's going much smoother. In fact, Null takes down his own agent because of that amazing ability Love Me. The ability you love to hate. And admittedly, so do I. Also, I'll be honest, with Kurth and Null, you can pretty much use anything on your agent. They're just ridiculously powerful, especially Kurth. The funny thing in this battle is Null's going to take down all of his teammates by himself. That is, if we let him. He would even punch his own self out. But I think it would be nice to finish him with the Vigilante Toolkit. So first we use the Holographic Shield, and then the Retractable Claw. That's going to be how this one ends, so I want to thank you all for watching, and ask you to please like, comment, and subscribe. Then until next time, good luck, and take care.